All right, we're rolling. How the hell you doing, everyone? Cheers, Agnes Beckett. I see you. Mr. Magpie, I see you there. Sir Hunlot, Operation Annihilation. Noob Grows, you're in here already. Holy shit, this is pretty quick, everyone jumping in here. I want to, first and foremost, apologize for not making it to this morning's Wake and Bake show. Cheers, G-Bay. How you doing, my man? No, I apologize to you. You're right there, man. I had great intentions of being there for this morning's show, but we had a long drive after a show last night. Got back about like an hour and 45 minutes before showtime. And I had honestly had great intentions of trying to put my head down for about an hour just to kind of close the eyes, reset the battery so I get through the show. And ended up waking up at about I think it was like 9 o'clock or some shit like that. So way after the show was over. A shout out though to G-Bay and Fluff. Those two brothers have just been absolutely fucking awesome. G-Bay, you've been carrying a lot of weight around here, man. Ever since you kind of stepped in as a panelist. Like the Thursday shows are a perfect example of that. With my crazy work schedule being what it has been this weekend, a lot of the time I'm literally getting there home like 5 minutes before Moose Soup and Maple Syrup starts or late, and G-Bay just fucking grabs the ball and runs with it and keeps that shit going. So, man, like, my hat is off to you, brother. I seriously appreciate everything you're doing around here. Fluff, you've been the man for years, dude. Literally years at this point. You've been with me a long time, brother. Got nothing but love for you, and thanks for holding down the fort when I'm not around. We had a great show this morning. Fucking presence in there. Live chat rocking as usual. Live chat always fucking rocks, and it's one of our shows, you know it. Ty Sticks, great to see you, my man. Hoping you're quite elevated yourself, brother. So I just kind of want to babble a little bit. I don't know if nothing in super particular. I'll flip the laptop around here and show you those Hunza Valley Pakistani plants that I think they're getting flipped tomorrow. We'll call tomorrow the first official day of the flip and see how they do. We're excited as hell about those ones, seeing how they're doing. That's going to be just a full seed increase run now. It's funny because Tyler gave me 7 seeds. Tyler from Family Tree gave me 7 seeds. And I was like, hey, these are legit, like only one step away from that being removed from Pakistan, right? Kevin Jodry collected them, gave some to Tyler. Tyler gave some of those to me. I'm like, okay, seed increase pollination. Y'all know the game. There's other people that are going to want to play with these. A lot of you watching right now are going to want to play with these, and y'all should be able to have them, in my opinion. So that's what we're doing. Now, the original plan was I was thinking I was going to flip a bunch of plants that are like maybe a foot tall, 8 inches, 12 inches, somewhere around there, and just get, maybe a couple hundred seeds, and we're going to be good. The smallest plant in there is about 1.5 feet tall because it was kind of had a bit of a rough go of life, but most of those plants in there are already 2 feet tall. So by the time the dudes get in there and do their thing, we're going to end up having like fucking 3-foot cannabis plants, pure Pakistani landrace. That's going to be exciting, man. You know what? Why wait a few minutes? Might as well show you guys right now. Get that light out of the way so I don't drop it. Can't be breaking shit in here. I'll get in trouble for that. The lady don't like it. Alright, so what's that? So in here, hope y'all can see that. So these are the Pakistanis in here. Except for this one. This is one of Tyler's, and that's an investment dog from Family Tree Seeds. Everything else in here, these are those Hunza Valley Pakistanis. And we're excited as hell to see how they turn out for us. Man, that's going to be... I played with some wild ties before, and I've played with a few Panama Reds, and a couple others that kind of slip in my mind. Like, not a lot of landrace experience is what I'm getting at. And so to have something like this coming through where it's literally, like I was just saying, the chain of custody from the time where those were actual seeds in Pakistan themselves, there's only 2 people between them and me. And that's cool. And one of them I consider a good friend. Tyler, shout out to you once again, man. Fucking one of my favorite guests we've ever had on here. Just such a, we come and talk cannabis is our main focus and thing that we do. We all love to grow cannabis, but we all like to talk about how cannabis is a gateway drug to growing fucking more plants, different varietals that have nothing to do with cannabis. Fucking, look at that dude, he's growing like apple trees, peach trees, like they call him Mr. Trees for a reason. So like whenever we have Tyler around, it's like just awesome all around garden talk, not just the cannabis, and just absolutely love that dude, man. Showed him. So we're excited for those. Another thing that I actually really did want to talk on tonight, probably, well, I'll be honest, is the main reason for me doing tonight's show is I'm still riding high after a really wicked couple days of live music. And I want to talk about that. Because, well, why not? It's fun. Sorry about that, guys. So last night we went and checked out the Metal Crushes All Tour, which did down in the P&E Forum in Vancouver, BC, which was a Monomarth headlining with Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, and Frozen Soul in support. Cannibal Corpse was the first death metal band I've ever heard and is still my favorite. Obituary was number 2 for me. So like this is kind of, I've already seen them both live once before on the same bill, and it was amazing. But the chance to go see him again was awesome. And a Monomarth as a closing act was icing on the cake. I'd never heard of Frozen Soul before, and I purposely did not check them out on Spotify or anything like that, because I'm like, fuck, I just want to fucking, surprise me, impress me. And they did. They absolutely did. So our thing when we get to shows is, especially if I don't not familiar with the area, is I get anxiety about parking and being able to get the fuck in and out, right? So I'll be there like hours, and I mean hours early to get a decent parking spot, and so that I can have that. My mind's free on that one at least. And we do that. We get in line good and early. There's maybe 30 people in line before us, and we put in our time. Gotta wait. It's a patience game. Unfortunately, my 10-year-old is a fucking pro when it comes to acting patiently, although I'm sure it is absolutely hell for her to be able to sit there and sit still in a lineup for an hour and a half. You know how it is. But we get our time in. And then we can run inside when we get there, and we hit the merch booth because the kid gets a shirt every time. Fuck. I've actually wanted this hat for since the first time I saw Obituary. Before then, back in 17, I think that was 17, 19, and around there. And so yeah, I got myself a nice new hat as well. But anyways, that's all at the point. So they had a wicked merch booth, fucking a lot of shit there to be selling, and you're kind of waiting there doing your thing. And we look, and the front rail is open. So we look at Abigail. We're like, go grip your spot at the rail, kid. And so she does. I come back from the merch booth, and I've got their goodies. Her and Ashley, they're at the front rail, and you see a bunch of other people. So one of the things I want to talk on is bringing kids to concerts, period, and metal shows in particular. Now, it seems to be, it's funny because you get people that are kind of divided on this. Oh, kids will get hurt and blah, blah. And then you get the people that are like, that is fucking awesome. That is me. That is fucking awesome. Metal shows can be dangerous, chaotic places. Absolutely, for sure. But you don't go stand in the mosh pit with your fucking 10-year-old kid or your younger kid, right? It's common sense. It's a risk assessment and management. If you play rough, you will get hurt. You go up to the front rail, and there's absolutely that bit of a crush or a press where, you got thousands of people in that venue, and they all want to get as close to the stage as possible. So you're going to get pressed on. You can't avoid that. But the good thing about being a kid at the front rail is other adults that see that kid there, including her dad, this guy here that's standing there, right? I got my hands on that rail. She's between my arms. So people come, you got your arms locked, and you get bumped and battered a little bit. But for the most part, the kid's fine. Every once in a while, your elbow might not lock, and you kind of bump into her a bit, but she's not getting roughed up is the point of it. And when you see the other people that are kind of at that front rail area, and maybe even a few people behind you, when they see that you're standing there protecting a kid, kind of, because, maximum enjoyment, maximum fun for everybody, really, but especially the children, they'll form a bit of a protective barrier there as well. Because nobody is there to hurt children at a concert. But when you get people bumping and, all that stuff, it's like a chain reaction. I bump this person, they bump that into that, and all of a sudden up here, I'm getting bumped into, right? It makes sense. The domino effect, I guess you could say. And So, but I just wanted, like, yeah, they're not. It's not a worry, in my opinion. And if it does get dangerous up at the front, you just send the kid over the rail. And again, the security guards, they're always sitting there looking like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Checking on people. She was not the only kid at the front rail. This is fucking awesome. So we're there first, and about two people over from us, these other couple comes in, and this dude looks like a fucking Viking, and he's got two kids that are about my daughter's age, and they go up and they grip their place the front rail, and there's some other dude, a younger fellow with a mullet. Fucking, he was awesome hanging out with before the show and talking with between sets. They're good. The dude that looks like a Viking with the kids, he comes up and they claim their spot at the rail. And the guy with the mullet I'm talking to, he just looks over. He's like, "Whoa, that dude's here from on Mars." Just the way he said it just struck me so funny and absolutely true. So then you kind of get a bit of fuck, I don't want to say alliance, but I guess it is in a way where you got parents there that are at the rail with their kids, and everybody's kind of watching out all this stuff. And you know, so we're keeping it safe, maximum fun, maximum enjoyment for the kids as per usual. Good times. Now, Frozen Soul, who I'd never heard of before this tour was announced, like I said, I didn't check them out. I was hoping that they would be a pleasant surprise. And when I was talking to the mullet head dude, he was saying that he had some friends from Portland that were at the show the night before in Portland. And he said he was told that Frozen Soul actually had the biggest mosh pit of the night. So I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So let's take that into consideration. And they get on stage, and man, they whip that fucking crowd into a frenzy. It is very rare. Like, I've seen a lot of good opening bands. I've seen a lot of bad opening bands, but it's very rare you see a band actually whip that crowd into a frenzy for the opening act. Their 25, 30 minutes or whatever they had on stage. It was just like amazing. So I'm like, wow, who are these guys? And that's kind of when, you know, the mosh pit starts getting, like I said, that domino effect, and you kind of, you know, okay, so this is going to be a bit of a rough show. Let's, you know, lock the elbows, all that shit on the rail. And I'm just like, wow, kid made it through the entire Frozen Soul set at the front rail. Okay, all right, she's a gamer. She's a little bit freaked out at certain points, but she's good. She's going to stick around for Obituary. Now, Obituary comes on, and they sounded so fucking good, man. The drums, the tone of Trevor Perez's guitar. I don't know if any of you really know Obituary, but Trevor Perez has a guitar tone that it's kind of like ZZ Top in that as soon as you hear him playing, you know exactly who it is. Like, every Obituary song has that tone to it. It's unmistakable. And you get that tone, and then you get Donald Hardy on the drums, who's always been one of my very favorite drummers. And I'm just like, oh, man. And the funny thing is, like, their set list is not, man, I'm all about the old Obituary. I don't really want to hear anything before or after about 1996, the Back from the Dead album. You play all earlier shit before that, you know, 89 to 96. Fuck, that's prime Cariboo Obituary. They didn't play none of that shit. They played almost all newer stuff, and I loved every fucking second of it. Just, you know, like, good, powerful music, powerful set, and like, wow. And once again, my kid, front rail the entire time. She's even got a couple videos that she shot on her cell phone. And it's funny because when we were at Ice Cube a couple nights before, I took a video, and I'm sitting there, and my phone's like 3 years old, the video camera or whatever on it, it's not great anymore. And I'm sure the microphone's slightly fucked. And then I see my kid's fucking brand new, and her phone's nothing fancy. It was the affordable fucking Samsung model, right, when we got it for her. And the quality of her pictures and sound is so much fucking better than mine. I'm just like, okay, I was just kind of snickered to myself. This is funny shit, right? But anyway, so she's got a couple of good Obituary videos that are already up on her YouTube channel, Hurricane Abigail. Go over and check that shit out if you're into some live music videos there. Cheers, Jess and Bean. And so we get through that set, and I'm like, wow, I'm just like, this is seventh heaven type stuff for me, you know, like, I'm at a death metal show, my kid's doing well, came through some early kind of anxieties and stuff like that, and now she's rocking out, she's having fun, she's got the horns in the air, she's yelling, screaming, and all this good shit. It's time for Cannibal Corpse. And I'm like, okay, so and the crowd is like I said, it's a rough death metal crowd up to this point. Nothing to worry about. But I'm like, shit, this is Cannibal Corpse. This is the heaviest band in the world coming on right now. Can my 10-year-old kid fucking take this at the rail? And I'm kind of, like, hey, if this shit gets crazy, over the rail she's going, like right now. No questions asked kind of thing. And they come on, Scourge of Iron. And as soon as she sees the singer walks out, she's on her phone and she's taking a video about it. I got nothing against anybody taking videos at concerts ever. Just please don't stand in front of me with your cell phone in front of my face. That's what fucking drives me nuts. She's shorter than me and her phone's down here, so I really don't care. And she's getting into it. She doesn't listen to death metal. My kid is not even really a metalhead. She likes Taylor Swift and stuff like that with a little bit of Black Label Society thrown in once in a while kind of thing, right? But she's here because her dad's taking her a metal show and she loves metal. And first thing she notices is the headbanging. The helicopter headbang, you get the hair. Corpse Grinder's known for that. He's known as the Neck. That is one of his nicknames. So he's wearing a shirt that says "Respect the Neck" with a picture of him on it. The guy's fucking neck is like the size of my waist, for fuck's sakes. That's from the headbang helicopter. And as she's a 10-year-old kid. She sees that, thinks it's fun, looks like a good time. And they even played Death Walking Terror. So my favorite Cannibal Corpse song right there. I'm just like, God, hot shit. They could have not played it and I would have just been amazed, man. Like they don't have a stage show to speak of, man. They pretty much stand in spot and they just fucking play. But when Cannibal Corpse hits you, it's like getting run over by a fucking tractor again and again and again and again. It's just, they fucking straight just pummel you. And you're just like, oh, man, it's amazing. And so they end up, they finish their set with Hammer Smashed Face. Once again, this is more amazing awesomeness. And my kid made it through the front rail at a Cannibal Corpse. No sweat this time. In fact, she even put her hoodie back on because she was getting cold at one point. I'm sweating like a fucking bastard. The hoodie is off for me. And the cool set. One of the cool things, though, so at the end of Cannibal Corpse's set, and they throw guitar picks and stuff to the crowd. And there, of course, you've got me and Ashley. We're pointing at my kid. Fuck, hey, give this kid a pick. She deserves a pick. And Eric Rutan, Cannibal Corpse's guitar player, he throws a pick to her. It bounces off her hand, front side of the rail, and we can't find it. We're looking around, and they had some really cool security guards there last night. Usually security's pretty awesome at the rail. And the one guy, there's a couple of them that would turn their lights on and try and help her find it and couldn't find it. And then this other dude, fucking eventually, he actually put his light on and spent a good minute or two just shining around and like, hey, it's got to be here somewhere, because we're trying to back up and look at our feet in case it did flip to our side of the rail or whatever it did. And he found her pick, so she's got herself a Cannibal Corpse guitar pick. And I'm like, fuck, those, I don't even have a Cannibal Corpse guitar pick, and they're my band. You know what I mean? So this is, some core memories are being made here, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So next up is the Monomarth. Now, we know that they're going to have the stage, so, and all that, you can already see the CO2 jets and stuff like that, or the cannons that'll be shooting the CO2 jets at the front of the stage. We're like, wow. So, and when Cannibal Corpse gets off, they put the big curtain up in front of the stage so you can't see what's going on. So they can have to drop the curtain, band comes out and shit like that. And they do all that. Curtain drops. The drum riser is a Viking helmet with like some Viking with the horns coming out the sides. We all know what Viking helmets look like. Probably like 8-foot horns coming out the sides. They've got these probably 25 to 30-foot Viking statues on the back corners of each stage. And you're just like, wow, like stairs going up around the drum riser and shit like that. They got like the wicked light show, the smoke machines going. You're just like, fuck. This is just power, fury, and brutality. Just like with a wicked stage show. Like I said, Cannibal Corpse is amazing, but they don't do a stage show. They just stand there and fucking rock. Sorry about that. And Monomarth, they're all over the stage, putting on a good time. About 4 songs in, Ashley couldn't take the crush anymore. She gets out of there. She's like, hey, I'm going to go stand back there. Okay, we'll come find you in a bit when we're kind of done up here. And a couple songs after that, Abigail has to go pee. You got to realize she was standing at that front rail for an hour before the show even started until at this point, we're probably been inside the venue for about 3 hours, 4 hours maybe at that point. And okay, I gotta pee. Let's get you out of here. At this point, I want to go and hang around and do other stuff. We've got some of my best lifelong friends are at this show with us. They stopped in at our place today before on their way down, smoke some weed and shit like that. And actually, Dennis, one of them, he'd actually come and found us at the front rail towards the end of Obituary set. Fucking doing the bro down hugs and shit like that, metal and horns and all the good stuff, and rocking out with my fucking kid at the rail. It was good times. But I'm like, hey, I want to go find some of these people. He's not the only friend I have there, and so we're walking out, and we find Ashley, and I couldn't find anyone that we were looking for there, and I come across one of the people that was in that group of friends, but she's coming from Victoria way, and I haven't seen her since actually the last time Cannibal Corpse and Obituary came through. Same group of friends, they all come down from Prince George, stopped at my place in 100 Mile, and we went down and saw Cannibal Corpse and Obituary. So it's kind of funny every time they get together. I get to run into Lisa, I've known her for 25 years or whatever, high school friends kind of thing. She was actually one of my younger sister's good friends, and we all kind of same groups hanging out sort of thing was how that one worked. And it was amazing to get to see it hang out her. And so Ashley, she's done with the crowd press. Fair enough. And it's colder back towards out of the crowd anyways. It's a lot cooler and they're more bearable, I guess you could say. And so, but I'm not keen to hang out in the back. I'm vibing, man. Fucking energy's flowing. I'm like, yeah, let's go fucking do something. So Abigail's a little unsure about going back into the crowd, but we go in and we're weaving around. We're trying to find some people. We're not finding anyone and all that. Okay, back to Ashley because we know whereabouts she is. And we don't want to leave her hanging on her own area. You're just kind of doing circles, making your way back to her and stuff like that. And then the song fucking Hydrant comes on from On a Mirth. Fucking halfway through their set, fucking they're somewhere around there. And I'm like, God damn, like this is like when you can take a death metal song and turn that into catchy, to me that is the bomb right there. And that is exactly what this song does. And I'm like, okay, I can't hang back there if I can. I fucking went into death metal retirement to mosh pit retirement. I think it was in like 2017. I got hit behind at a Cryptopsy show and just put my back out. And it wasn't even, I didn't even get hit hard. It wasn't even a big pit. There's like 5 of us in there. It was hit me in a weird wrong spot. My back was fucked for a week. So I was like, okay, I've been relegated now from then on to being like one of those old dudes that sits on the outside of the pit, just kind of, nod your head. That's about all you can really do. You don't want to get all fucked up. Shit, I got to go to work in the morning kind of thing, right? Fucking nowadays, hit the mosh pit, I'm going to fucking come out of there in traction, be laid up in the fucking hospital for fucking weeks on end. Until Hydrant came on, and fuck, I had to go pit, right? And we're pitting hard in there. And one of the things I realized is that mosh pit was full of fucking pussies, like giant, big fucking pussies. I'm tiny, guys. I'm like 5'7", about 150 pounds, but I've also been known to come out of mosh pits bleeding. Like, let's get in there, let's fucking throw down and blow off some steam, you know what I mean? And people are just kind of, I'm just like, bah, let's go, let's fucking wreck people. And, but anytime anyone hits the ground, you fucking pick them up. Rule number 1, right? And so we're doing that, but I'm kind of like, this isn't a bad pit. Like, I started slowing down and pitting a little less recklessly after you kind of get the feel for it, right? Because you get in there and you just want to start fucking destroying and wrecking, but you realize you're the only one doing it. You're kind of become a bit of an asshole. And so getting in there, and I'm just like, oh, this pussy pit is fucking kind of nice. And it's like, it's good for old people, I think is what I'm getting at, is because today, I don't have a bruise on me. My back wasn't all fucked up. I actually felt good. The only reason my back got sore last night was from the long ass drive home we had afterwards. And so, like, I spent probably the last third of the Monomarth set basically in the mosh pit, blowing off steam. Come out of there just dripping wet. I went and found, actually, at one point I come out, catch my breath. I go and find Ashley and Abigail. And Abigail's just like, you look like you had a shower. I'm just dripping, fucking soaking wet. And she's like, oh, I found Dennis. I'm like, oh, did you? And Dennis is fucking over kind of by they'd shut down the beer vendor booths at that point, and he's kind of got his shirt off. He's sitting on the floor with his back up against the booth, kind of sucking wind because he's been loaded and he's throwing down at the concert, stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, mosh pit, let's fucking go. So I'm 42, he's 47, and he's a fucking big dude too. And we're okay, let's get back in that mosh pit. Fucking clear that shit out and fucking pretty well finish the rest of the set there. And just like, man, had a great time. By the time I did finally come out of there, so the end, they kind of finish up with Raise Your Horns, the song, and I knew that was the case because I look at the set list now beforehand so I can give them to my daughter because she doesn't listen to most of the concerts we go to. She doesn't know these bands. She might know one or two songs at best. And there's a huge value in having kids know the songs they hear or they're going to hear live when they go. Even if it's just one, if you hand them a 10-song set list, and even if there's one song in there that stands out, that one song is better than no songs that stand out, right? So anyways, I do Raise Your Horns, and I'm like, okay, there's going to be one encore song after this kind of thing. Let's go out. Find our way to Ashley and Abigail because they're actually near the doors. So we can get the fuck out of there ASAP kind of thing when show is done. I come out of there and I'm like, man, I am so fucking worked up and exhausted. I'm like fucking dry heaving. I think I'm about to fucking puke. I just gave every last bit of energy I had to fucking give it that show. And I'm just like, you know, as they're closing with Twilight of the Thunder God. And in the place, so I mentioned these big statues that they had, and I'd seen a picture of their set before this show, and I'm like, how the fuck do they get those 30-foot statues in there? And what they are is they're inflatable. And I was okay, it's just, it looks like stone statues, right? I was thinking like styrofoam or some shit like that. And the last song, Twilight of the Thunder God, comes on, and they got the sea monster, the dragon, or whatever the fuck it is, and it's coming out trying to get to fucking eat the band or whatever. And you got Johan Hegg, the singer of Amon Amarth. He's got this giant Mjolnir or whatever it's called, the Thor hammer, and he goes to battle with this fucking thing, slays the fucking dragon and all that shit. Show's done. Let's get the fuck out of there here. And man, I just, what a wicked time on so many levels. On so many levels, guys. Like, the bill. All four bands just absolutely slated. Even the opening band on there was like fucking phenomenal. And I still haven't checked them out yet on like Spotify or anything, but they're coming out and their whole set list is probably going to get added to this. We've got another set list that's called, Hey, We've Seen Them Live Before, where we'll take the bands that we've seen live and usually put songs from the set list that they've played. Sometimes it's the whole set list. Sometimes it's just a song or two, depending on how much we like that band. And they're probably going to get all 6 of their songs thrown on that playlist. And we listen to that when we go traveling and stuff like that. And so after the show, when we're walking back to the car, you're having these conversations where with the girlfriend and the daughter and all that. Like, so how was it? You know, and it was good. It was good. And I'm there for the music, man, and get that the energy release for me, right? These are bands that I love, and Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, I've been listening to those bands for fucking over 25 years at this point. Probably closer to 30. And, you know, that's what it is for me, and be able to see those songs played live is just like, But Abigail's not necessarily a fan of the music, not meaning saying she won't become a fan in the future, not saying she doesn't even like it. It's just not really her thing. Fair enough. So you ask her what she likes about it. What was your favorite band? And she said, well, probably either Cannibal Corpse or Amon Amarth. You knew Amon Amarth was probably going to get brought up, right? Just because the production and just everything they put into their show. It's impressive. They really do put on a good show. Check them out if you ever get the chance. And you know, you knew that issue, but she said the Cannibal Corpse, that kind of surprised me, but like, what else was she gonna say? The other two are death metal bands too, right? And but so I was like, so what was it about Cannibal Corpse that you liked? It's the headbang, right? Fucking helicopter headbanging and all that stuff. And it just it puts a huge smile on my face to, you know, it's just what the different things that do it for different people in the show. And that for the, you know, my 10-year-old daughter, it's the fucking watching the band headbang on stage that really does it for her. It's just, you know, let kids be kids, I guess. Another thing I want to touch on in bringing kids to shows, actually. So after Abigail, we took Abigail to the bathroom and find Ashley. She points out that there's another couple there with a little girl, like, and we found out later, a little bit later, she was 3 years old, dressed up in like one of those skeleton costumes, and she's got glow sticks all over the place. Her parents are chasing her all over this fucking venue. This fucking 3-year-old does not, like, no fucks given. Like, she's having fun running around, the big crowd and stuff like that. Everybody that sees her, you know, you're stepping up and, you know, giving her space, and just like, that is pure innocence and fun, man. Just pure innocence and fun, and it just love to see that kind of thing out of the show there. And then towards the end of the show, actually, when I knew it was last song coming, because let's get near the back so we can get the fuck out after we're done. And I see this couple standing there, and the dad's got, you know, one of like those baby chest carrier things that are like, you know what I mean, right? So you can hands free and stuff. He's got a baby that somewhere between newborn and 6 months, I would say, probably about 3 to 6 months old, in there. And I'm sure he's got earmuffs and stuff like that on. And I'm just like, wow, man, like, I thought my kid was fucking young. And it's like, there you have it, man. Like, fucking metal and concerts in general, they're for all ages. They should be for all ages. Of course, you get the ones that happen in bars and stuff like that where they can't be all ages. Fair enough. But man, like, I have conversations with people at shows all the time where they're like, oh, wait, that's the way to do parenting and all that. And I'm not saying I'm doing parenting right and anyone else is doing parenting wrong. But what I will say is that music has been a huge part of my life for probably starting around like grade 5 is when I really started finding music was awesome and could give me it is like the Osmonds. Noob, sorry. However, where's I go on there? It just distracted me there. I forgot where I was even going with that one. Wonderful joint this is. Smoking on some grape diamonds. What are y'all smoking on? Bring me back to the fact that I purposely have not been looking at the live chat because I know that I wanted to go. I wanted to let it roll and stuff. You know, not get distracted. Because once I start reading, I start talking. Throw my joint on the ground. Sorry for that once again. Barking in your ears like that. Cheers, J. Patrick. Genetic Memory Farms. J5420. What else we got in there? That's about that. So, yeah, man. Like okay, so here's another one. I'm getting close to if I can stop talking about concerts and shit like that. So 2 dates before, we went and saw Ice Cube in Prince George, my hometown, which is great. We didn't have to drive back after the show. We'll stay at mom and dad's afterwards. And I've never been to a rap concert before. And so not really sure what to expect. I've seen videos of rap concerts where you got the performer on stage and you got another rapper up there that kind of finishes their sentences for them or whatever. Fuck, well, this is Ice Cube. Let's go, man. This is some bucket list shit, man. Straight Outta Compton, to me, is the greatest rap album ever. You know, I had the older brother that got me into that shit, you know, right around the time it came out. And so we get there, and the one thing that's going to be different about this show is usually the show starts about an hour after the gates open, and this show is going to start an hour and a half. Okay, whatever. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. Not the end of the world. It's a waiting game getting into shows. And thankfully, about 10 minutes after 7 instead of the 7:30 start time, we get this DJ comes up. Apparently, the show DJ, a guy named Young Legend, comes out and starts spinning basically the hook from popular rap songs and party songs that most of us all know. And I'm kind of getting into it for about the first 20 minutes. And it seems like every 5 minutes, it's like, are you ready for showtime? Are you ready for Ice Cube? And all that. And like about 20 minutes into this, the guy says this shit for the fourth or fifth time. You're like, start the fucking show, man. Like, you're looking at it like, again, the opening act, a dude named Peter Jackson's supposed to be coming on here. Friggin', like, let's go. And it was like about a half hour after that's like about an hour after this DJ gets on there, starts, they finally bring out the opening act. And not necessarily my thing for the rapper. I'm not a huge rap fan. I'll put that out there to begin with. But it was good. It was enjoying this, watching these dudes up on stage doing their thing. 15 minutes after they get up there, I don't even know if it was actually full 15, they're off the stage. What the fuck? Like, you've had this fucking DJ spinning up these. The other thing, so like the longer that DJ is up there, the worse the music gets. As I said, I am not a rap music fan necessarily. I do like some of it, but it's usually old shit. This guy's playing, I'm guessing currently, because you can tell the crowd knew what the fuck they were listening to. They were having more fun than I was. Maybe a fish out of water, metalhead at a rap concert, kind of thing, and whatever. But in like this, you've had this DJ up here for spinning music for an hour. By the time the opening fucking act actually gets up there, you let them play for 15 minutes, and then the DJ goes and spins for another 20 or 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden they start breaking everything down, get his DJ table off the stage. It's, we'll get to be time for Ice Cube. Like, that's weird to me. Like, I don't know, kind of, to be honest, I was kind of bored stiff by the time Ice Cube come on. I'm like, holy shit. Ice Cube comes on, and it was fucking great. I had a great time. And about 3 or 4 songs in, they play the song Bow Down, the West Side Connection song. Fucking amazing rap song, all-time great, I guess. And when the guy that's up there rapping with him, because it's just billed as Ice Cube, right? He's not telling you any of his side performers or anything like that. He's singing one of the verses, the part where he's dissing me on wax. I'm trying to saw your whole fucking head off. I'm like, that fucking sounds just like on the record. And sure enough, and a song or so later, Ice Cube fucking introduces Dub C, and I'm like, oh shit, that's fucking badass. And he just had a great time, man. Got to see Ice Cube do Straight Outta Compton. He did some gangster. Now, one thing I don't like about rap concerts is they don't play the whole fucking song. Now, I get it on the songs where they're collaborative, and maybe the rapper does only one verse out of 3 verses on that song. Okay, I get it. That makes sense, I guess. But even on his full songs, he like his solo songs. He didn't do the full things for the most part. I mean, it's just like, that's kind of weird to me. I don't know. Like, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the difference between rap and rock shows, I guess. But where I was trying to get with that, with bringing up the Ice Cube show, is so the rap music, the pop music kind of thing, that is definitely more the vein of music that my daughter listens to. Like I keep saying, she's 10 years old. What did you listen to when you were 10? Probably what was popular most of the time. And I asked her last night after we're driving on our way back, what was better, Ice Cube or the other show? And the other show is better because there's so much more going on. Even like when it's okay, so like I said, Cannibal Corpse, not much of a stage show. We basically got 4 guys on stage, 5 guys on stage, friggin' sitting there, and 2 or 3 of them can fucking headbang, and the guy in the center, the singer, is fucking a legend when it comes to headbanging, right? But it's the energy and the intensity that they put into their music, because Cannibal Corpse doesn't even really have a light show very much. It's just, like I said, it's like they're a tractor, and they just keep running you over and over and over again, just pummel you. Or where you got something like a Monomarth, where they got the light show. Yes, he did do no Vaseline, but once again, he only did like the first verse and a bit, man. Like it was yeah, it was interesting. But I put that video up on the kids' YouTube channel as well. So Hurricane Abigail, if anyone's interested in going and checking that out on YouTube, she's got quite the collection now because we used to sit there. Well, I used to go to a concert and try and get a video or two just to kind of show that we were there. And we after a while we had a whole bunch of kind of videos saved up, and there's a few full songs in there as well. It was like, okay, cool. And when I send her videos to like Facebook Kids Messenger, because she doesn't have a Facebook account and hopefully never will, um, when she can't save those videos, when I send them to her, it won't let her. So basically, it's just like scrolling in any other fucking news feed on social media, right? So I'll send her a video, and a day later, it's pretty well gone because she says you scroll on and send more messages. Now she's actually got a YouTube channel where she's got a way to go back and remember all these shows that she's been to, and I think it's cool. And the fact that she's interested in filming a song from each set or whatever for herself means that I don't have to pay attention. Well, I never did have to. I just spent actually quite little time looking at shows through a phone lens or camera or whatever. I like to kind of be in the moment. Like I said, get a quick video or a picture or two just to show you that you were there, sort of thing. But man, she wants to make videos and carry her YouTube channel. Fucking why not? She's 10 years old. Fucking by the time she's 20, say, think of what she could have. That could potentially be a source of income for her one day. Imagine that. Imagine if she could end up like becoming like a rock and roll journalist or some shit like that. Fuck, that would be badass, man. Again. Oh, and the other thing is, did I mention that she got herself an Monomarth drumstick out of that as well? So she got the Cannibal Corpse guitar pick, and then during a Monomarth set before she had to go wee hit the porta potty, she got herself a drumstick as well. So that was hell. That was awesome. Yeah. I think my joint is just about out, and I've been sitting here for the better part of 45 minutes. Sheldon, how you doing? I hope you're having a great night. I'm just getting ready to wrap it up here. I just coming from a stellar weekend, guys. I'm fucking exhausted. I've got nothing done today, really, and I am not ready to leave town and go out of town for work tomorrow. Not by a long shot. I got the laundry part done, but nothing's packed, and I'm just like, fuck me, I don't want to. I'm tired, but it's a good tired right now. Whereas a week ago, if you were told me, I'm just exhausted, tired because working too hard. It's funny because now it's like I almost got to go back to work to get some rest at this point, but good times. Next week, we're going to go check out the Machine Killer tour, which is Static X, Seven Dust Dope, and a band called Lions of Loyalty. And just like Frozen Soul, I've never heard of them before. I heard of the tour. I have not listened to them on Spotify or YouTube or anything like that. I'm hoping for a pleasant surprise. I was a huge fan of Dope, Static X, and Seven Dust back in the kind of the late high school, early 20 days. Really looking forward to that one. It's going to be, now this is, so the P&E Forum, I think that's just about a 5,000 seater capacity, that one. The Vogue, I think it's basically a movie theater, maybe 1,000 people tops or something like that. So you get that small club venues feel kind of thing. We're excited for that. But where this one is going to be really awesome is we're bringing one of my work buddies and his daughter is going to come with us to this show. And his daughter is like best friends with Abigail. And she's never been to a show. So it's her first show. It's going to be Abigail's 13th concert that she's been to because we were doing the math yesterday. And last night was 12 for her. 10 years old, been to 12 concerts, all of them within the last 2 years. Pretty badass. Yeah. So anyways, this is going to be fun because Abigail at this point is pretty much concert pro. She knows what to do, how to act, and all that. And Emily's never been to a show, but she can be shy, absolutely, but she's also one of the quick thinking, like she's one of the most quick witted people I've ever met, and she's like fucking 11 or 12 years old. Like this is one of those kids where A, I'm glad she's not my daughter because she's mouthy, but B, she should be a lawyer or a politician because she can fucking talk. And as soon as you say something to her, she's got something better to say to you, kind of thing. And it's like she's like I said, since she's not my daughter and she can go home and lip off to mom and dad, she's usually quite the joy to have around her. So it'll be cool. I also hang out with her dad. Her freaking Jay's a cool guy too, man. I've been working with him for years. He's actually the reason I got the job at the company I'm at right now, because I was doing the same line of work for a different company and I was never able to work at home. At that point in time, I think Abigail was 3 years old, and in her lifetime, I'd never been able to wake up, go to work, come home, and sleep in my bed all on the same day. It was all road work. And since he was kind of put the bug in my ear, hey, come work for us, I'm home more often than not. This year's a little bit of an anomaly, but I also kind of said that last summer I was hoping to spend a lot of time on the road this year. And it turns out to be one of those cases of be careful what you wish for, because I holy shit. I'm spending a lot of time on the road working. Let's put it that way. Damn, what else do I got to babble about? I kind of almost want to start touching on a different subject now. I'm having fun up here, guys. We're like 45 minutes in now. And usually, you know me, I'm about 20 minutes on the Unfocused Ramblings before I start babbling and running out of shit to say. So we're having fun. You got me to the point now where I'm even like lighting up fucking roaches out of the fucking ashtray because I don't have another joint rolled, but I'm not ready to stop smoking it. Having fun. I should have fired up the vaporizer. That's not going to burn. I might have to roll. So, what's everybody smoking on in the live chat right there? I was just smoking on some grape diamonds. Not sure what this is, and this doesn't want to burn, so we're going to have to go to fuck that. I might have to roll something here. That I will do. Let's kick it. So, the grape diamond is what I'm at here. We're getting towards the end of it. So shout out to Hooley. Brother Hooley gave me these seeds. And because if a lot of y'all have been around for a long time, grape diamonds is one of those strains that I let it go about a year and a half ago, and I wish I never would have. It was good, and I haven't tried too many things that are better for me since then. So kind of shot myself in the foot. Hooley heard me pissing and moaning on the show at one point in time and was like, damn, I got some grape diamond seeds. And since he is an absolute brother, he sent those up to me. And I grew them out. I don't think the terps are quite there. It's not quite the same as the ones that I was growing, but Ethos has a few different versions of grape diamonds. I don't know which version I had to begin with. They were given to me back in the Cannabis days, like in the early days of the show. And so they were just marked like a glass vial with grape diamonds written on that vial. So I don't know if it was like a VX or whatever. And Lily sent me a couple seeds, and they were good, but not quite as good as that one. And I kind of decided, because I've got the grapple fritter going on, which has some grape terps and is just an overall better thing, that we'll go with the grapple fritter instead. So we got that. So we're just about on the grape diamond. That's my long and winding road to saying that we're almost out of grape diamonds, which, it sucks, but it is what it is. And that's Pheno Hunt. Oh, man. See, that's awesome. Daughter's making dinner and you're pressing rosin. That is teamwork, absolutely, Jess and Dean. That's what I like to hear. I wish I could train mine to cook. That'd be great. So, and speaking of the grapple fritters. We got those F2s. Those are, I need to apologize. It's to our contest winner, Frank S. Joel, I passed through your town on Friday and has had every intention of stopping in and meeting up with you to give you your grapple fritters, but it was early. I don't think you wanted me knocking on your door at like fucking 6 a.m. You might have been up, but it probably would have been just caught you off guard, hanging out your ginch or some shit like that. But I'll be up in your area soon, or I'll mail those out to you this week. I'll get a hold of you because also one of the things I was going to give away is the Spider Girls, and I don't know if I gave you a bunch of those or not. If I did, I'll give you something different instead. So I got to reach out to you and have a talk about that. Frank S., your package will be going out. I haven't come within anywhere near a post office in a good while now, so I'll make sure that goes out on Thursday. I promise you that. Kind of dropped the ball. Like I said, it's been busy, man. It's been a good busy. It's been a fun busy, but that's not good to make you wait for your shit that you want. You want to get that shit out. And well, Fluff, you got to wait till after the Static X show to get your package. So we'll just leave that as that. Might be something cool in there. So, like, man, what else do we got for shows coming up? So, I think it's June 1st. We got the Whalers. They're playing in Vancouver at Commodore. So, like I said, I wish pretty much all shows were all age venues. But the Commodore is definitely not. But at the same time, it's like the girlfriend and I were talking about this on the drive on the way back last night. Like, like I said, if it were up to me, I'd bring the kids to every show. But it is nice to get out there and just not have to worry about babysitting kids at a concert as well. And so it's funny. So what I'm getting is, if it was available every show that I go to, I would buy extra tickets for the kids, 100%. But when I go to, say, a show at Commodore or the Cariboo Rocks North Festival where it's adults only, when I get in there and I'm just hanging out with the girlfriend and some friends or my parents or whoever, maybe my sisters, I'm glad there's no kids around. It's nice to just not have to worry about being responsible for children. Is that a catch-22? I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's catch-22, but what I must do is light this joint. Let's get it done. Oh, we got some cloning done, Sheldon. Fuck, see, man. So, I haven't cut clones off of any of those Pakistanis, and I feel like I don't have time. I've kind of essentially run out of time. I'm going to get up in the morning, throw some shit together, and go to work. The garden be damned, unfortunately. But I really want to. So I could re-veg if I wanted to. I could just run seeds from is that an F2 generation? It's an open pollination seed increase is what I call it. I wouldn't consider it an F2 because I am going for a maximum for variation in genetic diversity. Holy fuck, did I just spit that out? That was impressive. Say that 10 times real fast. I can't even say 10 times real fast, even once. So maximum. No, I can't even remember it the second time. Yeah, no, all right. Well, let's light up. So the kid likes doing sunflowers genetic memory. That's one of her things. She really likes being outdoors and doing stuff. We're trying to get into more of that kind of thing. Up in Prince George, I've been helping my dad build himself a garden over the last month or so. And hopefully she'll get to spend a bunch of time up there playing in that garden and see, learning about building up soils and stuff like that. And how to kind of get your garden built for yourself to begin. Oh, yeah, I'd like a mad tickle there. I just thought my eyes were going to pop out of my head. Joking on that. So, she's learning to about establishing gardens and areas and stuff like that now, which is really good. And then in our yard, we don't have much of a yard. It's kind of just a public area. So instead of a garden, kind of what I've done is I got Sterlite totes that I'll put wood chips in the bottom and then put some topsoil or whatever, the top layers, and basically use those as my own little fucking big planters and stuff like that. We'll do tomatoes and stuff like that in there. See if we can get some herbs going on as like kind of a ground cover crop sort of thing. And do that, because the other one of the things is we want the fuck out of this place. If the chance ever arises where we can move into a bigger place at an affordable rate, we were all over it. This place sucks. It's just a place to live that is affordable at the moment for the last 3 years. So, but we're always looking and hoping to be able to get a move on. So if they would suck to have a good garden established in the ground. Say you got like really rocking tomatoes and squash or something like that, then have to fucking leave them there as you find a new place come a couple weeks before harvest time or whatever. So this way we have the ability to, you can sun chase, because my backyard doesn't get much sun from about noon on, because there's some aspen trees that cover everything up. And whereas if we can at least move the toads around a little bit and get an extra couple hours of sun if need be for that. So she's learning, that's that kind of stuff too. It's awesome. It's up until she got her cell phone for her birthday. It almost went out. Up until, so her birthday is in March and she got a cell phone for her birthday. And up till that point, she was very much I would rather be outside doing pretty much anything other than being inside playing on tablets and devices, unless maybe it's cold or wet outside. That's changing. That is very clearly changing. She's getting more and more addicted to the cell phone. I'm like, I still don't think it's a bad idea to get it for her because she has free access to me now that she has her own cell phone. And we'll just say that. Put it that way. She can get a hold of me whenever she wants, which wasn't always the case before. But it sucks because now, and it's not hard to get her to go outside. Let's be clear, but it was always a lot of the time she'd be the one. Hey, let's go outside. Let's go do something. I'll go run around in a fucking circle while you stand there and watch me or whatever. They didn't take any encouragement. And now, usually I find you got to ask her, you want to go outside? You want to go do something? And it's a lot of the times the answer will be, no, I'm good. And it's, fuck. So I know I'm kind of fucked up in a way on getting her the phone. And I thought, like that. That's when I would have lost that bet because I was always so proud of her. Still am. She's, better than a lot of people are with her. So she's better than I am with the cell phone still. I'm fucking on my phone all day long. She's not. It's not as bad as her old man is. So she, yeah. She's almost a teenager, turning into an actual human, I guess you could say. Once again, the joys of parenting rear their head. That's a good point, Jeanette. Good garden being able to sell a house, but right now we're actually, unfortunately, we're renting. And yeah, and the people that run the complex that we're living in is, I don't know. It's so I just, yeah. But I think in terms of like in-ground garden stuff this year, I think we're gonna put a whole bunch of sunflowers and stuff like that. Because it doesn't take fuck all to plant a million of them, and they just look real nice. So, damn, solar powered cell phone would be freaking amazing. I'd be down with that. Here's one that I've been thinking of lately. So, Wi-Fi versus cell phone service. And how long is it before cell phone service becomes a thing of the past and we just have Wi-Fi? Because you got Wi-Fi just about everywhere you go at this point, whether it be fucking like data off the cell towers or if you're using it through your fucking internet and stuff like that, right? You got Starlink out there now, so that you got Elon providing internet. So just pretty well anywhere on the planet you go, you got internet. How much longer before we've got, like Starlink phones or whatever, where it's right there at the tip of your fingers? It's always Wi-Fi as opposed to cell phone. I find, I think probably like wouldn't be surprised if it's a 10 years or less thing before we kind of see that conversion start going over. This is the kind of shit that I think of when I'm driving in a vehicle, fucking perhaps high as shit. Let's say traveling in a vehicle high as shit. And, you've still got a lot of miles to go. And you're just like, oh, this crosses my mind, man. Cheers, noob. Noob. That's twice I've done that to you tonight, man. Cheers, noob. Have a great night, brother. My apologies for fucking can't even say your name correctly, man. You deserve better than that. You've been with us a long time, dude. You'd think I'd know who you are by now. How was everybody else's weekend? You guys all have good weekends? You get lots done around the house. It's harvest day tomorrow here. That's another exciting time. We've got 2 different grapple fritters. We've got a bambalam and a frequency shift. We're excited for those. Now here's a bit of a bitch session. Later, J. Patrick. So I got a new light, a flies on LED that says it's adequate for a 4x4 light, or 4x4 light, 4x4 grow tent. Okay, that sounds good. And I buy it, plug it in when it gets delivered, and what I used to have in my tent was 2 Canon LEDs, Black Sale Market, and it was time to upgrade, right? And when I plug this new light in, first thing I notice, it's not even as bright as 1 Canon, and it's supposed to replace 2. Now I like the coverage that it's got, and all this, and in the spectrum, it's nice to work under, but we have now finished a crop underneath it, and the density is not fucking there, dude. I'm not impressed with this light at all. Now what I could see doing is getting another one just like it, having 2 of them in the tent, because that would give you a pretty wicked coverage. But it's, like I said, it's not as bright as a Canon, not by a long shot, and it's like visible, fucking not even close. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do there. Do I take this one out, find a different place for it, which I don't really have a good spot for in the house, and just go back to 2 Canons in there? It's tempting. So it's in there with the Hunza Valley Pakistani seeds right now. Seeds for the plants that will become seeds here soon. And I've got make the decision on that over the next week away from work here. We'll see. No, I haven't actually checked to see how much power it's drawing. I'm just going with it is visibly not as bright. Okay, that'd be your first step. Okay, maybe I'll look into getting meter, plug it into the wall or whatever. Is that what you're saying? Fucking rates they are, Agnes. So, hold on. So before we got Abigail's new cell phone, when I did that, I got hers under the Akudo plan and switched mine from Bell over to Kudo. Because I was with Bell before, and my cell phone bill, I think, was about $140 a month, which is fucking ridiculous. But I was like, I've always been hearing Canada's cell phone rates are fucking, like they're insane. And I'm like, yeah, this is fucking proof. And we start looking at And I was scared to get my kid a phone because I'm like, shit, man, it's like $300 a month potentially I could be spending on freaking cell phones for between me and the kid. Start talking to people, you know, the younger generation. I work with kids that are in their 20s, so they know more about this stuff than I do. And Stewie starts talking about, cheers, Marshall. Look at different people, like, because Kudo runs on TELUS, which is another major service provider up here in Canada. The Kudo actually runs on their cell towers and stuff like that, but they're cheaper. Look into that. And so I looked into them and a couple other ones, and I was with Kudo for, I think it's $35 a month. I'm able to get her freaking unlimited texting, Canada-wide calling, and 50 gigs of data. For I think it's $35 a month, and I'm like, fucking shit, that's pretty good. And then there's an insurance in there and stuff as well. The other things that'll bring it up because, you know, she's 10 years old. She's probably gonna lose that fucking cell phone at some point in time. So let's do the smart thing, kind of thing, or see what seems like smartwatch. She'll never lose the fucking thing, and I'll pay all this insurance money for nothing. But you know, stuff like that, that'll jack the rate up. And I'm like, holy shit. So I could switch from my Bell provider and get on Kudo. We can both have cell phones. And even with the few additives on there, I'm still paying less than $100 a month for both of our cell phones. Like, shit, man. Like, it's still a bit of money, but considering I was paying $140 for one, I'm like, wow. So that's worth looking into if different providers. Now, I will say, since I've switched from Bell, because that's the only cell phone provider I've ever had was them. I got my first smartphone like 15 years ago or something like that, and that's been with them ever since. And the like Bell's cell service fucking zones or whatever, they fucking suck. They seem pretty terrible to me. I travel all over the province, so I get to see what your service radiuses are and shit like that. And Kudo is not as good as Bell. And it's not like hugely worse, but it is not quite as good as Bell. But for considering I'm saving, you know, $50 to $60 a month by going somewhere else and having multiple accounts and shit like that, to me, it's worth it right there. Oh shit, 28 for you, Larry. Well, I see. It's good to be old at some point, I guess. There. Okay. Thank you, Genetic Memory. I appreciate that one. I sincerely do. I will look into something like that. I don't think I have Harbor Freight or Menards, but I pretty sure I know what those are, and I think that'd be like kind of like equivalents of like Canadian Tire, PV Mart, Princess Auto type stuff up here in Canada. So you show proof of income for that. Let's see. It's shitty that it gets to that point where friggin' we have to make like I like you put in your time is in the workforce and all this. I'm assuming and stuff like that. It's I don't know where I was going. I had a really good point that I was trying to make, and I kind of just lost it there because I've been sitting here smoking joints with you guys for the last hour and a bit. Sorry, I couldn't be a little bit more respectful in my reply to that, but yeah, I don't know. I hate the way our elderly seem to be. You know, you do get your wicked benefits, stuff like cheaper, but especially the government of Canada, I guess you say, the way our elderly get disrespected, stuff like that with pensioning and stuff like that, and it fucking drives me nuts, man. Drives me nuts. Cheers, Dr. LeMay. Hope you're doing well. Well, gang, I think who did I say cheers to you, brother? Hope I did. If not, cheers, my man. I think it seems like a good time for me to start wrapping her up. It's yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this. This is like a new record for an unfocused rambling, but sometimes it just needed to be done, you know. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Colton and the gang will be back Tuesday morning. Yeah, it's gonna be great times. Great times to be had by all. Yeah, I'm gonna stop babbling. I'm gonna get out of here. Peace out, everyone. Hope you all have a really great week. And yeah, once again, we shall see you Tuesday. I'm like, what day is that again? Let's smoke another one. And I will.